Shadow of Innocence, Age Gap, Second Chance Romance, written by Zoe Appleton. Still haunted by a traumatic childhood, Isabella finds herself irresistibly drawn to Paul, her enigmatic partner with a hidden past of his own. A high-stakes case plunges them headfirst into the steamy underworld of human trafficking, testing the boundaries of trust and desire at every turn. Cryptic clues ignite their white-hot chemistry as Isabella and Paul race against time through the pulsing streets of the Caribbean, the lavish seductions of Paris, and the forbidden temptations of Spain. With each revelation, their connection intensifies, even as sinister secrets threaten to tear them apart. In stolen moments of passion, Isabella and Paul explore the mysteries in their hearts, finding salvation in each other's arms. But when a politician's daughter goes missing, the search for answers leads them into the clutches of a ruthless criminal network. To infiltrate the guilty hiding in plain sight, Isabella and Paul must pretend to be lovers, blurring the lines between fact and fantasy. Every passionate caress and smoldering kiss brings them closer to the edge, even as it binds them closer together. Determined to right the wrongs of the past, Isabella and Paul become captivated by the heat of the moment. But when the final shocking truth is unveiled, the flames of their desire could destroy everything they've built. Chapter 1. Isabella at 7 years old. I sat huddled in the dimly lit room, my tiny body trembling with fear. The cold, damp air clung to my skin, and the only source of comfort I had was the worn-out rag doll clutched tightly in my small hands. Its frayed edges and faded dress seemed to offer solace in this terrifying place. Before me stood a tall man dressed entirely in black, his presence sending shivers down my spine. His voice, devoid of any emotion, echoed through the room, sounding strange and robotic. I couldn't bring myself to look directly at his face. It was too frightening, too scary.
"Sit there and be quiet,"
the man commanded, his words sharp and chilling.
"If you make a sound, the bad man will come back."
The mere mention of this bad man sent a shudder through me as I tried to comprehend the danger that surrounded me. Alone in this desolate room, tears streamed down my cheeks as I called out for my mommy. The echoes of my desperate cries bounced off the cold walls, offering no solace, no response. I clung tightly to the rag doll, wishing it could magically transport me back home, to the safety of my family's warm embrace. As I sat there, the minutes ticking by like an eternity, the room became an abyss of loneliness and despair. I longed for the comfort of my own bed, the familiar scent of my home, and the sound of my parents' gentle voices. I yearned for the day when this nightmare would end, and I could return to the love and security I had known before. But for now, all I could do was sit in that room, my heart filled with fear and uncertainty. My only companion, a tattered doll who shared my silent tears. The room began to darken. The little light that came from the windows crept across the floor, getting smaller and smaller. Tears started to stream down my face as the thought of spending another night in this cold, damp room in total darkness filled me with dread. Rolling myself up into a ball, my stomach growling from the lack of food, my skin shivering from the lack of warmth, I called out for my mommy once again. However, as my cries echoed from my body, my mommy didn't come. The next morning, the sun began to rise, a warm beam striking me in the face. Opening my eyes, I sat up and looked about the prison I was in. Why was I there? What had I done to deserve this treatment? The last thing I remember was playing in the park with my babysitter. I was enjoying a carefree moment when suddenly, men in masks grabbed me, threw me into a van, and drove away. I tried calling out to my sitter, yet they blocked my mouth and tied my hands. After driving for what seemed like a long time, they took me out of the van, my eyes stinging from the tears. As the man approached, I huddled in the corner of the van, fearful he would hurt me.
"Get out,"
he said, his voice mean and frightening. Pushing my way up against the edge of the van, the man got angry and grabbed me by the foot, my shoe popping off. "No!" I cried, my voice cracking. A moment later, the man jumped into the van and grabbed me. I tried fighting back, but he was too big, too strong. "Let me go. I want my mommy," I cried. However, no matter what I did, they continued to take me from the van and into a large, dark building. Moving through the building, I could see that I was all alone. My cries began to increase, and my voice began to become hoarse from crying.
Shut up, or I will shut you up,
He commanded, staring me directly in the eyes. My lips began to quiver, and my eyes burned from the tears. I had never felt this afraid in all my life. I wanted my mommy, I wanted to go home. Unfortunately, I wasn't going home. In fact, they took me to the top of the building and threw me into a room with only a mattress.
This is your home now. Be quiet, or I will send the bad man to come and hurt you,
He said, turning around and slamming the door behind him. A second later, I heard a clicking noise, and I knew the door was locked. For 3 more nights, I felt the cold and darkness wrap around me tightly. I was so tired and freezing, I didn't know how much longer I could bear it. Suddenly, fear gripped me as I heard the terrifying cries echoing through the building.
"Isabella!"
The voice called. A slight twinge of hope filled my heart, and I was about to call out, but then I remembered that the bad man would come. Was this the bad man? It wasn't my daddy or my mommy. I wanted to call out, to let them know I was there, but I was too afraid.
"Isabella!"
This time it was the voice of a lady. She sounded sweet and kind. Clutching onto my doll, I started to count to 10. When I was finished, I heard my name being called again. They must be here to help me. They must know I'm here. With my body shivering, I called out, "Help!" As the words escaped my mouth, my throat felt as if it were on fire. I was worried that no one would hear me. I was scared they would go away and leave me behind, and then I wouldn't be able to go home. Pushing myself up on this mattress, I decided to bang something on the door, throw something out the open window. However, my legs were too weak from the lack of food and from sitting so long. What am I going to do now?
"Isabella!"
The voice cried out again and again. Each time they seemed to be getting closer and closer. After a few more minutes, the voice sounded like it was getting even closer. This was my chance to escape, my only opportunity to grab their attention and get help. Pulling what little strength I had remaining in my body, I called out again, "Help!" Fighting through the burning pain in my throat, I called out again and again. If I was going to get out of here, I would need to fight through the pain no matter what. Then, the knob of the door began to jiggle and shake. Whoever was on the other side of the door was either going to save me or hurt me. Either way, I wanted this nightmare to stop. "Help!" I cried, mustering every ounce of strength that I had remaining.
"She's here!"
The nice lady called out.
"Isabella, we're here to help you. We're here to take you home.
The nice lady called out.
Get something to break down this door!"
She called to the male voice. After a few more moments, loud banging came from the other side of the door. Then a loud pop sounded, followed by the door swinging open. From the other side of the door, a beam of bright light filled the room, forcing me to block my eyes. A moment later, a tall woman with a sweet voice stood before me.
"Isabella, my name is Emma. I'm here to rescue you, take you home to your family."
Her words filled me with joy. The man who was with her turned and started walking away. He was talking on his phone. Reaching down, the woman grabbed me, carried me in her arms, and we walked away, out of the darkness and into the light. Isabella, age 25. I woke up with a start, my body drenched in sweat, my heart racing as if I had just escaped from a nightmare. As my eyes adjusted to the dim light filtering through the curtains, I realized I was safe in my own bed. It took me a few seconds to shake off the remnants of the memory, the vivid recollection of that dark room where I was once held captive. The alarm on my nightstand had been blaring for a good 5 minutes, its persistent beeping reminding me that today was a significant day. Graduation day, the culmination of 4 years of relentless dedication and pursuit of knowledge in the fields that had become my passion: criminal justice, criminal psychology, forensics, and social justice. Swinging my legs over the side of the bed, I reached out and silenced the insistent alarm. Gradually, the remnants of the nightmare faded, replaced by the excitement and nervous anticipation of the day ahead. Today was the day I would walk across the stage, proudly accepting my hard-earned degree. But more importantly, it was the day I would embark on a mission to help and prevent other children from suffering the same fate I had endured. I made my way to the bathroom, the cool floor soothing my bare feet. The sound of rushing water filled the room as I turned on the shower, adjusting the temperature to steaming hot. Stripping off my sleepwear, I tossed the crumpled fabric into the hamper, where it joined a pile of clothes waiting to be washed. Stepping into the cascading water, I felt the heat envelop my body, washing away the remnants of the nightmare. The steam rose around me, creating a comforting cocoon as I let the warmth soothe my tense muscles. Graduation day was here, a day that symbolized both my personal triumph and my unwavering commitment to making a difference. As I stood beneath the invigorating stream, I couldn't help but reflect on the path that had brought me here. The journey from a frightened, captive child to a determined young woman ready to face the world had been arduous, but it had ignited a fierce fire within me. Today, as I bravely stepped into the world, I felt a clear purpose within me. I was determined to protect the innocent, to battle against the darkness, and to make sure that no child would ever have to go through the terrifying things I had experienced. With renewed determination, I let the water wash away any lingering doubts or fears, ready to embrace the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. Today I would graduate, not just as a survivor, but as a warrior prepared to make a lasting impact on the world. On top of graduating, I was also preparing to move to a private island in the Caribbean. There I was going to be living with my rescuers, Emma and Alexander Thompson. The Thompsons started their own private investigation company dedicated to rooting out the evils that were running rampant in the Caribbean. Their first case was that of a missing boy, snatched from the confines of a market. Armed with only their wit and their limited resources, they recovered him after a 3-week search. When they reunited the boy with his family, they knew that they couldn't leave, so they purchased the private island and set up base. Growing up, I remained in contact with Emma and Alexander. I would frequent their island and spend summers with them, helping them with some of their cases, working out clues, and even going through old cases to learn from what they did and didn't do. After graduating high school, they offered me an internship with their investigation company if I went to school and learned all that I could about the criminal justice system and get my investigations license. Today, I met those goals and would become a valued asset to their team. Turning off the water, I reached for a towel and began to dry off. Returning to my bedroom, I grabbed a flowered blue dress and my cap and gown. I was so excited for this day to come, I didn't know if I wanted it to end or go on forever. After dressing, I headed down to my car, got in, and headed towards my graduation. The sun was peeking through the clouds, casting a golden glow over the world. As I drove, a sense of gratitude and accomplishment washed over me. The road ahead seemed full of possibilities and adventures waiting to be explored. As I parked my car and made my way towards the graduation venue, I couldn't help but notice the buzz of excitement in the air. Families and friends gathered, their smiles and laughter filling the space with joy and celebration. The anticipation grew with each step, fueling my determination and reminding me of the challenges I had overcome to reach this point. Entering the auditorium, I took a deep breath, savoring the moment. The seats were filled with fellow graduates, their faces reflecting a mix of pride and nervousness. We had all worked tirelessly to reach this milestone, and now it was time to be recognized for our achievements. With each name called, the applause echoed through the room, a symphony of support and admiration. As my turn approached, I felt a surge of emotion welling up inside me. The memories of my journey flooded my mind, the hardships and triumphs intertwining to shape the person I had become. Finally, my name was called, and I walked across the stage, my steps steady and purposeful. The smile on my face grew wider as I accepted my diploma, a symbol of my dedication and perseverance. The cheers of my loved ones filled my ears, their pride and love washing over me like a warm embrace. As I made my way back to my seat, a sense of fulfillment settled deep within me. Graduation was not just an end, but a beginning. It marked the start of a new chapter, one where I would use my knowledge and experiences to make a difference in the lives of others. Leaving the auditorium, I was greeted by a sea of smiling faces. Friends and family surrounded me, their words of congratulations and encouragement lifting my spirits even higher. Their unwavering support reminded me that I was not alone in my mission, and that together we could create a brighter and safer world. And so, as I stepped into the next phase of my life, I carried with me the lessons learned, the determination forged from adversity, and the unyielding passion to fight for justice. With every step, I would honor the child I once was, and the countless others who had suffered in silence. As the sun set on this unforgettable day, I couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude and excitement for the future. The private island in the Caribbean awaited, a place where my skills would be put to the test, and I would join forces with Emma and Alexander Thompson to end the evil of human trafficking. With a heart full of hope and a mind brimming with possibilities, I embarked on this new chapter, ready to make a lasting impact and create a world where no child would ever have to endure the horrors that once haunted me. And as I drove towards the horizon, the wind carrying the scent of adventure, I knew that my journey had only just begun. And the field was filled with an overwhelming sea of graduates, their families, and esteemed guests attending the highly anticipated commencement ceremony. As I took my seat among the crowd, a surge of emotions washed over me. My eyes scanned the faces, searching for the most important people in my life. And there they were, my parents, standing tall with beaming smiles, radiating pride that could rival the sun. Their unwavering support and encouragement had guided me through the darkest of times, believing in me even when I doubted myself. I couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude and admiration for their unwavering love. Beside them stood Emma and Alexander, my two incredible rescuers. Their presence alone filled my heart with warmth and gratitude. The bond we had forged through shared experiences made them feel like family, as if they had always been a part of my life. Their eyes sparkled with admiration and joy as they gazed at me, their own personal victory reflected in their expressions. I knew in that moment I was not just their friend, but the daughter they had never had. The bustling atmosphere gradually settled as the crowd hushed, their anticipation reaching its peak. Across the stage, the esteemed dean of the school approached the podium, commanding attention with his authoritative presence. The words that flowed from his lips resonated with the crowd, each syllable echoing through the air. He eloquently praised the dedicated staff and faculty who had played an instrumental role in shaping our journey, acknowledging their tireless efforts in molding a class that would undoubtedly leave a profound impact on the world. With pride in his voice, he announced that this was the most successful class in the history of the institution, with an astonishing 3/4 of us having achieved multiple degrees. The unity and collective accomplishments of our class filled the air with an electrifying energy, fueling the excitement that coursed through my veins. A series of heartfelt speeches and the resounding melodies of the school band filled the air, setting the stage for the pinnacle of the ceremony, the moment we had all been waiting for. The time had come to receive our hard-earned degrees, the culmination of years of dedication and sacrifice. As each name was called, I felt my heartbeat quicken, its rhythm reverberating in my chest. One by one, my fellow graduates rose from their seats, marching with a mix of nerves and pride towards the stage. And then, it was our turn. My heart pounded against my ribcage, threatening to burst forth with a torrent of emotions. Determined not to succumb to the nerves that threatened to consume me, I closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and stood. With a smile etched on my face, I turned my gaze towards my family, the pillars of strength and love that had guided me through the darkest chapters of my life. Every step I took towards that stage felt like a leap of faith, a testament to the resilience and determination that had brought me here. I could sense the collective energy of the audience, their eyes fixed upon me, eagerly capturing this momentous occasion through their cameras. I imagined the live stream on YouTube, a testament to my triumph and an inspiration to all those who couldn't be physically present. As I walked, memories flooded my mind. I remembered the suffocating darkness that had once shrouded my existence, the terrifying reality of being entangled in the clutches of the syndicate and other nefarious organizations. But now, as my fingers delicately grasped the folder containing my hard-earned degrees, I realized that I had emerged from that darkness. I had transformed into a formidable woman, a force to be reckoned with. The shackles of fear and vulnerability had been shattered, replaced by an unyielding determination to make a difference in the world. The bad men who had once threatened my very existence were now mere shadows, unable to harm me any longer. In this moment, I was finally free. As the weight of the folder pressed against my trembling hands, tears welled up in my eyes. These were not tears of sorrow or fear, but tears of triumph and liberation. They were a testament to the journey I had embarked upon, from a scared little girl to a powerful and resilient female detective, ready to take on the world. Surrounded by my loving family, my parents on one side, Emma and Alexander on the other, a fellow graduate captured the essence of this prestigious moment, immortalizing it through the lens of their camera. In that snapshot, the culmination of years of hard work and perseverance was frozen in time, a reminder of the strength and unity that had propelled me forward. And with that, the ceremony drew to a close, marking the end of one chapter and the beginning of an exhilarating new adventure. As I stood on the precipice of the unknown, I couldn't help but feel a surge of excitement course through my veins. The world awaited, ready to witness the indomitable spirit of a woman who had conquered her fears and emerged victorious. My new adventure beckoned, and I was ready to embrace it with open arms, eager to leave my mark on the world and kick some serious ass. Shadow of Innocence, age gap, second chance romance. Shadow of Innocence is a pulse-pounding thriller where danger and passion combust. Can Isabella and Paul take down the trafficking ring without losing themselves in the process? If you're a fan of captivating romance mysteries that are brimming with action, suspense, and just the right amount of heat, then I invite you to explore my other thrilling novels. Delve into the enticing world of Shadow of Desire, a friends to lovers, workplace romance, a romantic suspense novel that will keep you captivated from beginning to end. Claimed by my boss, enemies to lovers, a scorching tale of forbidden desire and the complexities of a best friend's brother. Romance. Lose yourself in the irresistible allure of tempting my billionaire boss a forbidden love, a story of second chances and the intoxicating power of love. And don't miss out on the tantalizing secrets and heartfelt emotions of Secrets of a Billionaire Boss, A Secret Baby, Second Chance Romance. These books are sure to captivate your imagination and leave you longing for more. If you found yourself captivated by the characters, immersed in the unfolding plot, or swept away by the emotions that dance through the narrative, I would be honored if you could take a moment to share your thoughts. Your honest review is not only a testament to the connection we've forged through this tale, but also a guiding light for future readers seeking their next literary adventure. Your words hold immense power. They fuel my passion to continue crafting stories that resonate with your soul. If my novel brought a smile to your face, a tear to your eye, or a flutter to your heart, please consider leaving a review. Your insights are invaluable, and they contribute to the tapestry of feedback that shapes the path of my storytelling. Thank you, from the depths of my writer's heart, for being a part of this literary journey. Your support inspires me to weave more tales, and I can't wait to embark on the next adventure together. With sincerest appreciation,